I'm Andrew, and this is my Series 3 of the weekly podcasts 50 Ways to Succeed at Work. These podcasts build confidence and know-how. Consequently, they can help you achieve happiness at work. By the way, that's also the title of my book, available at Amazon and from the book's website, My Happiness at Work. Now for today's episode in Series 3. This is Series 3, Episode 5, Challenging the Status Quo. It can boost your career. When Grant Reid, the CEO of the powerful Mars company, stepped down in 2022, important shareholders said he had a healthy dissatisfaction for the status quo. Challenging the status quo at work can be career-enhancing, but it works best when you prepare carefully. The status quo at work is how things are right now. As in Reid's case, challenge can attract praise. It shows you're committed and engaged with work. It suggests you have leadership potential. For example, Wendy Kopp, the founder of Teach for America, wanted to reduce educational inequalities. Many said it was a naive dream. Yet she persisted. Her organization has transformed education by placing talented teachers in underserved communities, challenging traditional teaching norms. Jason Killar defied expectations by leaving a secure job at Amazon to start Hulu. It reimagined television program delivery, and despite public skepticism, his vision prevailed. It disrupted the entertainment industry, proving the unconventional paths can lead to remarkable success. And Malala Yousafzai, the educational activist, is committed to girls' education in Pakistan. She defied social norms and the Taliban's oppressive regime. Facing threats and an assassination attempt, she continued advocating for education. Her courage led to global recognition and the Nobel Peace Prize and the establishment of the Malala Fund, inspiring countless others to challenge injustice and fight for educational equality. If you challenge the status quo and push for growth, innovation, or change, you may be branded a disruptor, or more politely, a challenging employee. Yet you're almost certainly essential to the organization, since those who push for change can come from any level and are usually passionate about their work and want to see their organization succeed, and they're unafraid to speak up and share their ideas, even if they are different from those of their colleagues. And finally, they're willing to take risks. But despite the importance of those seeking change, will your actions threaten your senior colleagues? For example, they may see their role as there to preserve the status quo. Let's be honest, you could meet strong resistance, even disapproval. For instance, in challenging how we do things around here, you may hear tired excuses such as, "It's the wrong time," or "the wrong thing right now." "Nobody sees this as a problem." "We should change, but later," and so on. While challenging the status quo can be healthy, depending on your role in an organization, it may require personal courage to put your head above the parapet and propose something different. For example, in the male-dominated tech world of the 20th century, computer scientist Grace Hopper defied the common belief that computers were mere calculators. She advocated advanced programming languages that were more human-friendly. Her work led to the development of COBOL, a high-level language that revolutionized software development and paved the way for current advances in artificial intelligence. A former chief officer of Starbucks challenged the status quo by prioritizing diversity and inclusion. She implemented ways to increase the representation of women and people of color in leadership roles. Her commitment to equity transformed Starbucks' status quo. It altered the internal culture and set an example for other organizations. And take John Kotter, a leadership expert. He emphasized the need for change management. His approach challenged traditional organizational structures by shifting the focus from top-down directives to empowering employees. Kotter's approach has helped countless organizations adapt and thrive in a dynamic environment by encouraging collaboration and agility. Hopper, Brewer, Kotter, and other visionaries overcame internal resistance and even external criticism. Their experience reminds us that questioning the status quo from within can drive meaningful transformation. It can also be personally painful. If you're going to challenge the status quo safely, you need to rely on 3 essential actions. The first action is careful preparation. For example, prioritize your ideas. Pick your battles with care. Being passionate about change is fine, but bombarding people with new ideas may cause them to tune out from your best suggestions. Suppose you see colleagues using Excel spreadsheets inefficiently and you know better. Discover why they do that rather than rushing in with suggestions. If the answer is, because I've always done it that way, or I've tried other ways and don't understand them, you have an opening for your proposal. Evidence from those who have made the challenging the status quo a success includes conducting research. Secondly, action 2 is to practice how to present your proposal convincingly. Investigate what would be an inviting argument for management to consider. Gather hard evidence to support your suggestions. For example, no matter how convincing the evidence is, change is scary for some people. If you're too forceful with your change proposals, you risk people shutting off. Pay attention to other people's points of view. They'll be understandably cautious if they've experienced a previous negative change. Keep your pitch short. Allow plenty of time for discussion and questions. Choose the right moment, as it may not be something to bring up immediately after inspiration hits you. Action 3 is to gather supporters or allies to make the change. For example, if you plan to challenge long-standing attitudes or processes, collect co-conspirators who can help. The more entrenched the status quo that you're trying to disrupt, the more vital allies you may need. Finally, will challenging the status quo really help build your career? Well, much depends on how you go about doing it. Follow my outlined steps of careful preparation, practice presenting your proposal, and gather supporters, and you'll have a good chance that people will like what they see you doing. By regularly asking, why do we do that? Or could there be a better way? Or does that work well? You'll burnish your reputation for not taking things for granted. Most of all, challenge with positive proposals, not constant criticism. So, my final thoughts on this: changing ideas and streamlining processes can help your organization achieve its goals. That will appeal to those in charge. They'll start to see you as a valuable person to have around. In summary, changing ideas and streamlining processes can help your organization achieve its goals. That'll appeal to those in charge. They may start to see you as a valuable person to have around. Their approval can enhance your long-term chances of success. You've been listening to an episode of Series 3 of my weekly podcast, 50 Ways to Succeed at Work. You can hear the other podcasts at the 50ways.site. That's 50.site. There are nearly 100 titles, and you can search for any issue that interests you. If you have any questions, you can always drop me a line from there. Also, check out my book, Happiness at Work. It's packed with great stories, compelling advice, and suggestions for tackling real issues that you can encounter at work. It's at Amazon or at the book's website, myhappinessatwork.com. There's also an audio version if you prefer listening. Join me next week for another unmissable episode in Series 3. Bye for now.